Okay, students, good morning. So today I want to talk about how to move from layer 1 to layer 2 and to make some touch-ups on your painting and to kind of clean things up just a little bit. I'll do a lot of talking. I'm not going to demo the entire background because it just takes too long, but I will again give you the time-lapse version and some photos showing you my process. So again, this is layer 1, okay? It's totally dry right now. You can see again the photo I'm working from. I'm still seeing the grid lines underneath the canvas, which is why it's really important that I do multiple layers of acrylics. The other thing is I've got some areas that need to be blended a little bit better, like this yellow around the sun into the faded pink. So those are all things that you can do much more easily on layer 2 after you've already built up some paint colors, okay? Another thing I did was I also reinforced the shapes from the boat here, so that later I don't lose those and I can paint them over. So at this point it doesn't matter that I'm using dark pencil lines because, again, if I put my photo back here for you, you'll notice that this boat here has really dark lines and edges and angles. So I'm going to be able to cover that with dark paint color in the end, okay? So at this point, reinforcing it for myself is a good idea to not lose the shapes, okay? So what I did from layer 1 to layer 2 was I remixed some additional paint colors because after doing layer 1, well, I ran out. So here's the palette that I started with. When I remix paint colors, I don't get rid of these. I use them to compare and make sure my colors are still accurate, or at least as close as humanly possible. So being that this is a small space, I'm starting to work with bigger containers from home, and you can do the same thing. So what I like to do is I just like to save my yogurt cups. You guys have seen them all around the classroom. And what I do is I mix a larger amount of paint in here so that I can work across the background. And also I'm going to need it down here for some of the water. But again, I'm using the old color in the palette to compare and just make sure that I got as close as humanly possible, okay? Another thing that can happen is you might not completely mix the color exactly the same. So if that happens to you, it's all the more important that you cover this background with a complete layer of that second color. And that way, if your first color is not quite matching, you've covered it up and it really and truly doesn't matter, okay? The other thing you need to remember is that a lot of students will go into an acrylic painting working from day to day, thinking that they can take a dry canvas, start reapplying certain colors that they want to touch up, and that it's just going to blend nice and neatly like this yellow to orange. But what you really need to remember is that when you're blending something and trying to touch it up, you're going to need to re-wet the colors around it. So if I'm trying to repaint the section of orange, I also need to re-wet and add another layer of yellow and another layer of pink. I can't just do orange and think that that's going to blend easily without a sharp edge line, okay? So just a couple things to keep in mind as you paint. And I apologize that the video is going in and out of focus. We all remember from class that the dot cam is just not perfect. So again, I apologize for that. Don't forget about having a selection of different brushes that you can work with. I'm using big, wide, flat brushes to go across the canvas. Hi, kitty. See, good thing my canvas is still dry here because, as you can see, my cat is coming to join the demo today. And really what she's doing is drinking my paint water. Great. So, anyways, selection of brushes, big fat one to go across the canvas. You do have one that's just a little bigger than this one that came in your set, okay? You've got at least 2 of them. Another thing that you could use to help you if you don't have big enough brushes is you could always use a foam brush. Those are really easy to pick up from Walmart. And I would say in desperate times, you could even try using a very small piece of sponge just to graze in a large area across your canvas. Kitty, please don't walk across my computer. So I'm going to stop my talking right now because my cats are starting to invade my space here, and I will do a little bit of paint recording for you where I'm actually painting on the canvas, and then I'll post that video, okay? Please email me with some questions that you might have. Those of you that are emailing me, I can at least talk you through it, or if not, I can try to do a little demo just for you and send it to you, okay? So, happy painting, good luck, and please let me know if you guys need any help, okay?